Now then, YouTube. Now, I know it's been a long time since I posted, but that is because I've turned into Captain Sensible. And all I've been doing is really sensible rides, as recommended by my wife, if you remember the last episode. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And in fact, it's been so sensible that it's been quite boring. And that's why I've not posted. However, we're back on our travels. And way, kind of way over there, behind me is Mont Ventoux, the famous, I'm not going to say iconic because I really don't like that word, but the famous Mont Ventoux, the Géant de Provence. And this is the first day in a new bike adventure, about which I will tell you more in due course. Very windy, very windy. I hooked up with a mate who's lucky enough to live in this part of the world for a ride. You might recognise him from the French trip.
Hey. Hi guys!
I've been out for a few days. Feeling this one a bit.
Thank God it's not any steeper.
And that's it in the far distance. Mont Ventoux. Probably way too far away for you to see it, but take my word for it, it's there. And I've got some history with that mountain. About 20 years ago, we used to take regular family holidays in this area, and of course I took my bike. The idea was I would ascend Mont Ventoux every year and try to beat my previous year's time. Well, you know how that's going to end, don't you? And that's exactly how it did end. On this trip, I've neither got the time nor indeed the appetite for Ventoux, so it will stay there glowering over the French countryside, unclimbed by me. Well, it's the first ride of this trip done, and very nice it was too. If you look at my Garmin, that 0.63, 0.64 figure, that has been really important to me in the last few weeks, because that is my new mantra. Do not go above 0.65 intensity factor. That's like 2/3 of what I could do if I was doing a ride that was absolutely full gas. So if 1.0 is full gas, 0.65 is about 2/3. And that's what I've been trying to stick to. It seems to be working in that I can do a longish ride compared to what I've been doing and not come back exhausted, and that's been the aim. And the aim's been achieved pretty much over the last few weeks. So that ride qualifies. Well done me. Well, I left France yesterday and I'm now in Switzerland. This is Lake Biel. It's a little bit cool and windy up on deck. Switzerland, eh? Not one of the cheapest countries in Europe. That ferry boat ride, 25 minutes, 22 Swiss francs for me, another 8 on my bike, making 30 in total. And at the current exchange rate, it's about 30 euros, about 30 pounds actually. Seem to be on the steep side to me. Am I right? Am I wrong? Don't know, but yeah, Switzerland, eh? Not cheap. Well, I should tell you what I'm doing, I suppose, why I'm on this trip. And the idea is that I am on a slow route north from Spain to the UK. I started off in France, saw a couple of mates there. And as you know, I'm now in Switzerland. Then I'm going to head up to the Moselle Valley in Germany and have a couple of days there. Then up to North Rhine-Westphalia, and then across to the Netherlands and a ferry from Rotterdam to Hull. Should be a great trip actually. Obviously, as you can tell, I bought the bike. I can't ride every day because some of the drives are pretty long, but I'm looking to ride every other day and experience 3 or 4 different countries. Switzerland, of course. I mean, this road here, this piece of tarmac, my God, it's like a carpet. And there are bike paths absolutely everywhere. It's a very, very well-run country, Switzerland, in my opinion. Now, as I'm sure you know, Switzerland is multilingual, but this lake is particularly interesting because on this side, where we are now, on the right-hand side of the lake, it's German-speaking. But over there, on the left-hand side of the lake, it's French-speaking. Yeah, that's Switzerland for you. Land of many languages. This afternoon, we've come up to the French-speaking side and gained a little bit of elevation. And always with elevation, you get fantastic views, particularly when you're by a lake in Switzerland with vineyard-covered hills. Yeah. Swiss trains are just the best. Well, that's been an absolutely cracking day out on the bike. I have circumnavigated Lake Biel, or Biel Sea, in your language of choice, just under 60k. God, it took me about 4 hours actually, because I was pootling in the extreme. That was poodle pace. But a lovely day out. Switzerland, you've been great. Expensive, but great. Onward to Germany. Guten Tag, Deutschland. And that is the limit of my German reached. That's a big river. We are on part of an absolutely enormous network of bike paths. And they are very well used by all types of cyclists, lots on e-bikes. I seem to have a bit of a thing about borders on this trip because we started off in Germany not 10 minutes ago, and now we're just about to cross the border into Luxembourg. These bike paths are just astonishing. I mean, they're tarmacked, metalled. They're just like mini roads for bikes. They're unparalleled often, they're close to the motor roads, but God, they are just of such the highest quality. My God, look at this huge viaduct right up in the sky. I hope we're not climbing up to that. Well, luckily we didn't. We stuck to the holy trinity of rivers, bike paths and railway lines, all running adjacent to each other. So it appears that Germany is closed on a Sunday, which meant I just cycled 60 kilometres without any food or drink, which is not recommended in my case. I started to get hungry after about 30 or 40 kilometres, and at 60 kilometres I'm likely to turn to cannibalism or something. But happily, a petrol station came to the rescue. Got plenty of calories there, and I now feel revitalised, ready to do the last 20 or 25k to complete the ride. I thought it might be a good time now just to kind of fill you in a little bit on where I am medically. It's pretty much exactly 6 months since I finished chemo, and I think the main problem remaining, you probably heard me whinge about it endlessly, is the fatigue. I mean, it is a bit of a killer. I mean, after today, 60 to 80 kilometres, I mean, that qualifies as a long ride for me now. And tomorrow I will be exhausted. I mean, you know, just exhausted. Walking up a flight of stairs will leave me breathless and wanting to lie down. So that has quite an effect on your everyday life as well as your cycling life. I'm not quite sure what the prognosis is, really. I mentioned this to my medical team about a month ago, and they recommended I half the dose for a particular drug I'm taking. I was a bit kind of nervous about that, really, but you know, you've got to trust the medical team, and they say they do it a lot. Anyway, that's that. The downside is that they do say it can be up to a year before all the effects of chemo leave you. I don't think all the effects of chemo will ever leave me, actually. I don't think I'll ever get back to where I was. Maybe I'll get back to 80-90% of where I was currently, and I am a data nerd, so I can prove this with numbers, but I am 60% of what I was, which is, That's a big drop, is that? The big jump downwards. And then there's the fatigue on top of that. Anyway, that's enough about the moaning and the moaning about the fatigue. I've got kind of a big appointment with the medical team and a set of blood tests, which always make me nervous, but big appointment with the medical team in a couple of weeks' time. So I will be discussing with them my fatigue issues and seeing if there is any kind of silver bullet for fixing them. I don't think there will be. I think it'll be time and patience and managing my efforts. And I'm getting better at all of those things, so, you know, fingers crossed. Yeah. Okay, YouTube, well, that's another ride done, another 40 odd kilometres in the bank. Very easy kilometres, actually, and pretty unremarkable in terms of scenery, so I didn't bother recording it. But that brings my total for this week to something over 200 kilometres, which is a pretty good weekly total for me, and I would hope has some real training benefit. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching this episode. For me, it's jump in the car, 3 hours to Rotterdam, get on the ferry, and wake up in the United Kingdom. Okay, thanks again for watching. See you next time.